Got it. So what are the differences in 3D and 5D reality? I am not talking about a reptile changing it, just a pure 3D holographic world versus 5D one. I guess I'm trying to determine what from the things here is real, still exists in the 5D, and which things are holographically inserted. The hologram at a higher level superimposes images, yes, but it works mainly this way. It locks people's perception into a set bandwidth of perception, and that's white light bandwidth. So even if all the rest of the 5 components of Earth are still there, you cannot be aware of them with your 5 senses. Take a ruler, for example. 1 is a low frequency, 10 is the higher. It's all a frequency gradient from low to high. If your eyes cannot see past 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are not existing for you. Okay, so it's mostly limiting the perception, not inserting false images, just limiting the perception of these images, right? Both, sometimes imposing an image, but mostly restricting what you can see. From 5D, you can see everything in the frequency range of 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, but not 6 and above. So there, in 3D, you cannot see 4 and 5. How does the 3D differ from 5D? It's still the same objects, yes? Chair is a chair, shoe is still a shoe. Yes, shoe is a shoe because they are both an original matrix. A chair is a chair here in 5D, and it's the same in 3D because 3D matrix was created as a copy of 5D matrix. And the tree? A tree is a tree, but it's a higher vibration. Now, what's that vibration thing exactly? A vibration, or a density, are the oscillations per second of manifested matter. Look at a fan. When it stopped, you can see the blades. But when on and going fast, the blades are a blur, go faster. They will disappear from your sight entirely, but they are still there. So, in order to stop someone from seeing past 3D, they must keep them suppressed in a lower frequency state. We also have the original 5D matrix imposing things on the people of Earth, things that, as they are suppressed, they cannot see, but still are there to affect you. I have always felt deep frustration of being trapped to perceive objects only in the way my brain decodes them here. And I always knew deep inside they also exist in another way, in that higher oscillatory rate as you described. I touch the wood and it's just very limiting 3D wood. I have always sensed that there was something wrong and that this is not the only way things exist. What you describe doesn't mean you miss what you remember, and know you are limited now. Things feel a lot more real in 5D. Colors are stronger, and there are more of them. You feel more in touch with your surroundings and with everything, not only living things. Now, how does the suppression in 3D work? The moon transmits a frequency that suppresses your capacity to see certain frequencies. When you have a frequency, let's say 7.62 megahertz, how do you suppress it? You tell me. To suppress it, you transmit another frequency that matches it, but at the opposite, minus 7.62 megahertz. So 7.62 plus minus 7.62 equals 0. That's how the moon cancels out the frequencies they don't want you to see and perceive. It's called destructive interference. That's deep science for me there. That frequency suppression using destructive interference will limit people's perception to 3D, or only in the frequency range ruler of 1, 2, and 3. Ghosts and other things are in 4, lower astral. So some things do leak into 3D. The suppression is not perfect. I always knew something is wrong with this reality. I am walking within the shadow of myself, virtual reality avatar of myself. Exactly. When deep in that state, people get so disconnected from their higher self, their source, only acting out the program from the matrix, making them do the same things over and over, day after day, that they literally can lose their souls. The higher self loses interest in being in these individuals. Oh, wow. We will need to get into that more too in the future. So now, the lunar computers, are they really computers, or I imagine it is something vastly more advanced from what we can imagine, right? They are literal digital computers using a primitive binary system. They are controlled by very old and dangerous nuclear reactors based on uranium, and they are toxic, ionizing radiation. The computers control the electromagnetic generators. They dictate the exact frequency they emit, when and where, because the matrix is not uniformly set. It's different for each region. Why is it different for each region? And which region has the most and the least matrix? Most matrix, USA and Europe. Least matrix, regions of Africa, Brazil and Asia. Mostly where there is a lot of nature. That's where it receives less electromagnetic influence. But why was it designed to emit more matrix in some regions? It was not designed that way. The system is failing, so they are conserving and managing energy. The system initially consisted of 12 nuclear reactors, uranium, but 8 of them are disabled now. Now only 4 remain online. They are old and may fail suddenly, creating a problem. These Lintiplex technicians are now on the problem and how to feed the system with an alternate source of power. So the system is weak. It's 12,500 years old. It's failing, and people down there are experiencing many glitches. Okay, now, can we get out of the 3D matrix perception using only our mind, since it is installed through some kind of technology? Yes, when the consciousness level is high enough, it will in itself automatically adjust the matrix to 5D, with this liberating the people to the original 5D natural matrix. As the wants of the people manifest what the matrix gives them, it will automatically manifest 5D for them, if that's what they want. If we turn it off manually now, then all we will have is chaos, as most of the people are not ready for 5D. Okay, so from what I understand, we are multidimensional, and as with the ruler example, we already are in the 5D. It's just our range of perception that has been shut off. All the other numbers are there already, 4, 5, 6, etc. In a way, we are already there, right? We do exist in our 5th dimensional state and higher. It's just a matter of widening the perception to include that, right? Right! It's what you want to perceive that counts. And so, as I said before, and it is vital to understand, people are not limited artificially. They are only limited by their own beliefs. They are in a prison for their minds, as Morpheus said in a brilliant movie, The Matrix. So even if it is maintained technologically, the 3D installment, our consciousness can bypass it, correct? Consciousness is not in the body. It works through the body. You are not there. You are only perceiving there now. So it cannot be contained. That's why the only thing that limits humans is the idea that they are limited. And that's the part done by the reptilians hacking the system. If we are descendants of Illyrians and they were here at the moment of 3D installment, how come that they forgot who they are, we are, and they, the reptiles, somehow even managed to use the Matrix against them? They were supposed to be trapped in their perception too. Because they are the ones that are hacking the system, and they never were lied to about reality. Their consciousness wasn't given the idea of being limited. The 3D trap was meant for the reptiles. The limited exploiting ideas then were set by the reptiles to exploit the Illyrian people. That's the hack. The 3D frequency and the ideas limit the memory. Trapped in a memory loss perception, that's all part of the idea of being limited. All your past life's memory is still within you now, because it's not stored in the body. Okay, trying to wrap my head around this. Why do the reptiles want to keep us generating the Matrix if they want to escape it too? Because the Matrix is working in great percentage to their favor. And they do want to escape, so they can be free, as they have been imprisoned there for 500 years. They have been hard at work for all this time. Why not let us go? I mean, if they could let us go, raise our frequency, we could all get out. Many are doing precisely that. The reptilians are now split into two factions, the ones that want to cooperate and the ones that want to fight until the bitter end. Okay, changing the subject. If we go beyond the Van Allen belt, could we access the 5D automatically? Yes, as you go beyond Van Allen belt, you are automatically in 5D. The trick is get out. But yes, as you go out, you find yourself in 5D. Then you remember it all and it all makes sense. You said the trick is how to get out. So how did the reptiles manage to get out if they were trapped? Portals? Yes. Although they are mostly stopped from using portals now, they still do in a limited way. Spaceflight, on the other hand, is forbidden for them. How did they reach the portal technology? Because they were 3D trapped, left with nothing, no resources, and managed to somehow grow back to power. They took 500 years to find and develop enough technology to get out. Even the Nazis and their obsession with antiquities and the esoteric, what they always wanted was to find the old and hidden artifacts. And technology buried since long ago, technology lost since Atlantis was destroyed. Okay, do you know or can you foresee when the 3D installment will be off completely? Any forecast time-wise? No forecast possible, because the real nature of space-time doesn't permit a clear forecast. But I can say that in 10 years or less, the world will be unrecognizable in a good way. Okay, great. Now, the last question, perhaps a little indiscreet if I may. Aren't you perhaps turning off the 3D matrix little by little from up there? Like turning it up 3D, then 3.1, 3.2, etc.? I mean, time is speeding up. People are waking up. Something is going on. We are turning the knob slowly, turning the 3D off. I knew it. Can I tell the people? They will be happy. Yes, it's okay to tell them. And at what grade are we now? 3.2, 3.5? You are all, in average, at the border with what you call fourth density. Our team is slowly increasing the frequency. And this besides the fact that the whole quadrant is ascending to the fifth density anyway, literally moving a dial on a console. That's why so many people are awakening, and so many people are seeing strange creatures, and strange things are happening all over the place, because 3D is now overlapping with 4D lower astral. But then, I understand it's important to make it clear also that it's not all in the hands of technology. The cooperation of our mind is as important, if not more, right? It's the effort from both sides. Our consciousness is key. Yes, they, the people, must be the change. The people mustn't sit and wait. They must be 5D now. You must be the new world. Not wait for it to happen. The people are the event they are waiting for. Their mind is the key.
Gracias por escuchar el video y gracias por llegar hasta aquí. Ahora me gustaría hacer un pequeño resumen de los puntos más importantes para que se entienda muy bien. Primero, la Matrix 3D se ha instalado aquí en la Tierra sobre la Tierra 5D ya existente hace más o menos 12.500 años. Se ha instalado esta barrera para capturar a los reptilianos principalmente, porque la Federación era muy débil en este momento para seguir luchando contra ellos. Segundo, la manera como funcionó era que se ha puesto una barrera etérica alrededor de la Tierra, más allá de cual no se pudo salir. Pero principalmente la barrera era perceptual, entonces han cerrado de alguna manera cierto rango de la frecuencia de nuestra percepción. Entonces no se pudo acceder a la percepción, a la conciencia de las cosas, de la realidad en su estado 5D. Nuestra percepción era limitada. También, por supuesto, se pudo insertar objetos y hasta los eventos holográficamente, y de esto hablaremos con una chica que está más especializada en este tipo de programación de la inserción de diferentes objetos holográficos aquí en la Tierra y de los eventos. Hablaremos de esto en el video aparte. Después tenemos el hackeo de los reptiles. Los reptilianos presentes en este momento en la Tierra han utilizado el hecho que los lirianos en este momento tenían la percepción un poco más cerrada a través de esta instalación 3D y utilizaron la ley del Matrix original, la ley de atracción, que básicamente genera la realidad que estamos proyectando desde dentro, y también hablaré de esto aparte. Utilizaron esta mecánica, utilizaron los ordenadores en la luna, entonces, y tomaron control de todo esto, empezaron a manifestar la realidad que les conviene a ellos. Utilizaron la Matrix a sus propios intereses contra las razas que estaban presentes en la Tierra. Y esto es lo que otra vez llamo el hackeo reptiliano de la Matrix. Hackearon los ordenadores, lo que se puede llamar ordenadores en nuestro idioma, en la Luna, pero principalmente hackearon nuestra conciencia programadora. Ahora es importante mencionar que ahora mismo estos ordenadores, estos mecanismos en la Luna ya no están bajo del control reptiliano, ya están bajo del control de los taijetianos y de la Federación. El hackeo principalmente funcionó a través de las limitaciones de creencias de las personas. Han impuesto ciertas ideas y ciertas realidades sobre las razas que estaban aquí y limitaron su realidad básicamente, haciéndoles sentir sin poder, inferior. Quitaron nuestro poder, básicamente. Es como esta famosa foto de elefante, que es un elefante, animal grande, súper poderoso, pero está atado con esta cadena a una silla que es nada para el elefante. Solamente si mueve un paso a la derecha, esta silla se va. Esta silla no significa nada, no tiene ningún poder sobre este elefante, pero el elefante está guiado a través de entrenamiento a pensar que la silla es más poderosa que él mismo. Pero la verdad es que esto es totalmente al revés. Y esta es la realidad que tenemos que ir recuperando, porque es nuestro derecho. Es lo que somos, es que ni es derecho, simplemente es así, es la realidad. Somos poderosos y somos todos, somos creadores mismos, somos la fuente. Y no pueden tener ningún poder sobre nosotros. Es el tiempo de ir reprogramando nuestras creencias. Que por cierto, esto empieza con deprogramación de todas nuestras creencias. Y la realidad es algo que Svaru siempre me repite. La única idea que nos limita aquí es que estamos limitados. Y no lo somos. No lo somos en ninguna manera. Incluso ni estamos limitados genéticamente. Y quiero hablar de esto también en detalle en el futuro, pero Svaru me lo dijo muy claramente. No estamos interferidos genéticamente para limitarnos. Fue todo manipulación de la conciencia a través de las ideas. Se nos ha limitado mentalmente. La genética no tiene el poder sobre nuestra conciencia. Es totalmente al revés. Es la conciencia que domina la genética. Entonces es el tiempo a despertar a esto. No seamos esclavos de nuestra genética y de nuestra creencia a pensar que es la genética que nos domina y que fuimos interferidos por los seres negativos genéticamente. Entonces, ¿qué podemos hacer? Es que nada, es que porque nos han cerrado genéticamente y esto no podemos cambiar. Entonces somos hoy pobres víctimas. Que no, que sí, que somos pobres de alguna manera, pero es el tiempo de descubrir que no somos víctimas y que no fuimos interferidos genéticamente, que la genética reacciona a nuestra conciencia, nuestra programación mental y no al revés. Ahora, si subimos nuestra frecuencia a lo alto suficientemente y nos empezamos a liberar poco a poco de todas estas creencias limitantes, automáticamente, esto me lo dijo Svaru, bueno, todo lo que digo es lo que me dice Svaru, no miren de mí, pero me dijo claramente, si esto pasa, si nos elevamos, si nos empezamos a liberar poco a poco, esto ajustará la Matrix automáticamente a 5D, porque así fue programado a reaccionar a lo que genera nuestra conciencia. Si nuestra conciencia empieza a vibrar en la frecuencia 5D, afuera de todos estos límites, la Matrix ajustará automáticamente la realidad a la 5D y así nos liberará a nuestro estado más natural, porque 5D es nuestro estado más natural, claro, en este plano material, porque hay planos más etéricos, como ya dije en el primer video. Sí, con su ayuda de las taijetianas y otras razas que están